Tēnā koutou katoa, ko ruapehu te maunga, ko taupo te roto, ko Ngāti Pākehā te iwi, ko Wyndham te whānau, ko Kirsty Takaingoa. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. My name is Kirsty Wyndham and I am the Librarian Inquiry Broker at Cambridge East Primary School. In 2021, the School Library Association of New Zealand Aotearoa was granted funds to establish a 2-year pilot program in collaboration with the Kahuiako. One program is based at a high school in Nelson, the other at Cambridge East Primary School. One of the goals from the program is to establish a kete of local history, so teachers, kaiako, librarians and learning assistants can use to explore, inquire, discover and examine the different perspectives in conjunction with the New Zealand Aotearoa New Zealand's histories in the New Zealand curriculum. In collaboration with Cambridge Museum, we have established a prototype website called Investigating Histories, which will be able to support our kawanga to be critical thinkers and understand our local past. This is about a journey of making connections, ongoing relationships, and building a bridge with a range of partners within the community, such as schools, kura, mana whenua, local museum, and the general public on familiar things. This website is the beginning of a model where all parties involved can explore, discuss, and debate together. The information in the site has been carefully selected to connect with the learning experiences and the histories in the New Zealand curriculum. Teachers will also be able to use the information to assist them in their planning of meaningful topics, which is critical if students are to deepen their understanding of the curriculum's big ideas. So it gives me great pleasure to share with you today the journey thus far with a tour of a few pages on the website. To the left of the home page, there is a navigation sidebar which is written in te reo in English. We have kept the headings as simplistic as possible so you can get a better idea of what content will be on each page. At the top of the home page are 3 structured themes which encompass our primary sources: shaping a landscape, King Tawhio and Kingitanga, and building of a town. Below is a general description of building critical thinking by exploring history using primary sources, why we're using primary sources, and the role they play in students' learning. On this page, you will also find a black button which links to another page that provides more detailed information on what primary and secondary sources are, how to use and engage students in these sources. In the document, you can access the government site Papers Past and Epics for schools, and the organisation Digital NZ, which provides a wide range of historical primary sources. You will also find information on copyright and privacy for schools. You will see more of these black buttons throughout the site that hyperlinks to other pages or websites. In the New Zealand Histories page, you will find information and access to the document, the Aotearoa New Zealand Histories, which you can download. A video by Barbara Alatoa from Sylvia Park School in Auckland discussing the content structure of Understand, Know and Do. And a link to a podcast titled Expert on New Zealand History Curriculum. Here you can listen to Bruce Jepson from the Māori Principals Federation and Charlotte MacDonald, a history professor at Victoria University, sharing their views on why the new histories curriculum is incredibly important. We decided from the beginning of the project that it was fundamentally important to incorporate a page for the schools, kura and ECE, that are part of the Kahuiako. The majority of the schools have buttons linking to their websites, an image carousel, and a brief history of each school from their Jubilee book. Over the remainder of the project, we are hoping to establish an interlibrary loan system where schools, kura and ECE can loan books, artefacts and archives from each other. By collaborating, students tamariki will be able to see, read and hear and understand the relationships and connections with our school community's history. Our local stories fall into many strands. For this prototype, we are focusing on 3 themes: shaping a landscape, King Tawhio and Kingitanga, and building of a town. We are also looking at future strands to explore, for example, trade between Māori and Pākehā, the beginning of a colonial industries in a town, arrivals, immigration and its effect on Cambridge, and early Māori agriculture, to name a few. There is a link to a document titled How to Use Inquiry Wondering Cards. The cards depict images of objects relevant to our local history. The wonderings are to stimulate curiosity, thinking, and for teachers to facilitate conversations. Below is an overview of why local and iwi histories are important to individuals, communities, and the future. So let's take a brief look at one of the themes, shaping a landscape, and an inquiry wondering card. Each theme starts with a brief introduction. Shaping a Landscape talks about the ancestral region of the Waikato Tainui iwi and its hapu, and Tainui's waka journey from eastern Polynesia to the islands of Aotearoa. Some of the collections under the themes are Ngā Kōrero o Nehira, what stories do local iwi and hapu tell about their history and their rihoi? Taonga Māori artefacts, written word, photographs and videos. Iwi history is the foundation of all New Zealand history, and without it New Zealand's history would be incomplete. Here you'll find an historical account of Ngāti Koroki Kahukura and their relationship with the Crown from 1840, as well as other important historical accounts. There is also a link to a document about the Cambridge section of the Expressway, where you can read a collection of stories gathered by Ngāti Hoa Trust and Ngāti Koroki Kahukura Trust. Tongan artefacts can take you on an amazing adventure through time, which can be gripping and often surprising. They connect today's New Zealanders to our ancestors' experiences and can tell powerful stories of taonga artefacts that have survived them. Here you will find a few to view with an attached inquiry wondering card. Each of the inquiry cards link to one of the contexts know from the New Zealand Histories curriculum. Underneath there is an image for students to explore. To the right of the image there are I wonder questions to prompt deeper thinking and discussion. Once that process is completed, you can then move on to the next part of the card. Here you will find the description of the image to read to the students. To the right, students can now write what their wonderings are after they have heard or read the description. The cards are suggestions and ideas of what you can do. You may change or alter the layout to adapt to any age group or year level. Diaries, letters, memoirs and notes are created by those who participated in or witnessed the events of the past and tell us something that even the best written article or book cannot convey. They expose students to important historical concepts. Here you will find a series of recollections from Anne Shepherd and her life living at Mangatautari. Photographs and videos capture moments in time and quickly and concisely informs you about peoples, places, objects and events. We have a variety of historical images of Lake Te Kautu, Mangatautari, the Waikato River and a video titled Historical Dam Construction Documentary of Lake Karapiro. On this page itself you can see a variety of resources. We have placed a brief description of the purpose of each resource and their relationship in a historical context. Under the resources you will find secondary sources from different perspectives. There are a few primary sources that are national, not local. All the resources are related to the four contexts know: culture and identity, government and organisation, place and environment, and economic activity, and linked to the examples of the learning experiences in the New Zealand Histories curriculum. Resources you will find are websites, podcasts, documents, maps, biographies, to name a few. We have added at the forefront Kumiriti Cambridge, which encompasses all the contexts. Let's have a brief look at now Whakapapa me te whanaungatanga, culture and identity. Here you will find access to a large variety of reliable websites providing a wide range of information, from the European discovery of New Zealand, Matariki, history of the Chinese people, New Zealand identity and the history of immigrants. We have also established another Google site called Kupe and the Great Migration. The site only contains content related to Kupe. There is direct access to videos and TV documentaries to watch, from Dame Whina Cooper to a short film about the people of Waikato. There are links to podcasts to listen to, such as the Aotearoa History Show, and a link to a website, Lindau Paintings Online, where you can view 19th century Māori leaders who continue to inspire people today. Here you can locate information about New Zealand history, biographies and famous New Zealanders. We finish the page off with suggestions of books to purchase that are relevant to the context, culture and identity. Many Answers is a popular online resource for students. It does not give you the answers, but rather guide you to websites and other resources to help you find the information for yourself. Like the site itself, we have divided the information under the 4 year levels. This will make it easier for teachers, kaiako, librarians, and learning assistants to identify exactly what they are looking for. Here you will discover a wide range of learning activities, resources to support teaching and students' learning. Cambridge Museum has in-gallery activities and also brings a museum to your home, with a variety of activities to help educate and entertain. National Library of New Zealand provide a large range of activities and resources to inspire and inform students as they explore concepts related to the document of the Declaration of Independence of the United Tribes of New Zealand, Treaty of Waitangi, and the Women's Suffrage Petition. Kaiako in Early Learning will find access to curriculum resources and guides from Tuia 250 that weave together Te Whariki strands, goals and learning outcomes. There are also links to sites that you can use to build your knowledge and to find stories about the past of Aotearoa, New Zealand. Māori history is the complete human history of Aotearoa, New Zealand, from the earliest Polynesian navigators to the people that English colonists named Māori, to the occupiers of land and the settlers of grievances, to the movers and shakers of our parliamentary system. Young New Zealanders, Māori and non-Māori, need to engage with tangata whenua by placing themselves in the broad historical past of Aotearoa, New Zealand. The resource on this page helps students to understand how the past has shaped us and to look to the past to inform the present and the future. Each theme provides teachers and students with ways to connect with Māori history. While they are presented separately, the themes connect with each other and are interwoven with national and local events. There is also access to information where you can get resources and professional learning opportunities to help teachers, kaiako, and school leaders bring the new curriculum content into their schools or kura. These include classroom resources, video of teachers actively trialling elements of the history content, planning templates, and leadership guides. A form has been provided for feedback. Your feedback is important in order for the website to move forward and to be successful. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the brief tour. At this stage, it's not available for students to access or use. The aim of the pilot program is to design and implement a resource for teachers, kaiako, librarians and learning assistants. However, I'm sure in the near future, with a few changes, students will be able to use it. So watch this space. If the pilot program is successful, the program will go nationwide for other schools to set up a similar resource. This website is unique and one of a kind, so I hope this will help in assisting and supporting you in your teaching of the New Zealand history. Kia ora.